Welcome back. This is the second video of converting standard form of quadratic equation to vertex form. Where I've left you is I was going to start the third problem, but I actually think it will be helpful if you did some practice problem of your own. So I would like you to try to do two problems. The first two problems are very similar to the two examples that we've done. First question is y is equal to x squared plus 12x plus 40. Second problem is y is equal to negative x squared minus 5x plus 2. And your goal is to convert the equations in standard form into vertex form. You do not need to graph it unless you really want to. So please pause the video at this point and I will show you the answer solutions in a minute. The answer is coming now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so y is x squared plus 12x plus 40. So we do the same thing as we did before. We do not set the equation to be 0, but we preserve the y, but we separate the first two terms, x squared plus 12x, put it in parentheses, and leave a little space to add some number that we need. We are bringing the constant down. We're not subtracting it to the other side. And then from here, oops, I lost my x. Okay, from here, I need to figure out what is the number that I need to add. That's going to be the middle term, the b, 12 divided by 2 all squared, which is same as 6 squared, which is 36. So I am adding 36 to complete the square here. But since I've added 36, I need to take it up, subtract it from the same side as well. So I'm going to subtract it at the end here. The parentheses simplified to x squared plus, x plus x plus 6 all squared, and plus 40 minus 36 is plus 4. So that's my equation in vertex form. And therefore the vertex is negative 6, comma 4. All right. Then let's do the second problem. Same thing, but because we have negative 1 as a, I want to factor that out. Negative 1 and x squared. Okay, so negative 1 times what is negative 5x? It's plus 5x. I'm going to leave a little space and then bring down the plus 2. Now I need to think about, okay, what is half of the b, which is 5 over 2, and then squared? That's going to be same as 25 over 4, which is same as 6.25. I am using decimal just because it's a little easier. So I am adding 6.25 here. Okay, so inside the parentheses, I've added 6.25, but to the equation, I didn't add 6.25. I've actually subtracted 6.25, so I need to add that back. Add 6.25, and that leaves me with negative 1, and the parenthesis simplifies to x, and the plus 5 over 2 all squared, and 2 plus 6.25 is 8.25. So that's my equation in vertex form. And so the vertex is negative 5 over 2. Remember, it's opposite sign of whatever the number is inside the parentheses, comma, 8.25. Okay, so that's the two practice problems that you should have been able to solve. I am going to go to the third problem now. And y is equal to 2x squared plus 8x minus 17. Just like when we are completing the square when a was not 1, we had to divide it by 2. But this time, because we are the y is not 0. If we divide everything by 2, this becomes y divided by 2 on the left-hand side. We don't want that. So instead, we're going to factor out 2, just like we factored out -1 here. And that leaves us with x squared here. And then 2 times what is 8x? It's 4x. We're going to leave a little space and bring down -17 from the original equation. Now we need to be thinking about the second term, 4. Half of 4 all squared is 2 squared, which is 4. So I need to add 4 inside the parentheses to make this perfect square trinomial. Now, what number did I add to the left to the right side of the equal sign? I did not just add 4, I added 4 times 2, which is 8. So I need to subtract that out again to make the equation balance, which leaves me with 2 times the parenthesis, simplifies to x plus 2 whole squared. -17 minus 8 is -25. So that's my vertex form. And the vertex, now I know to be -2, comma, again, opposite of this sign, -25. Okay. All right, so if I was to graph this, now this time A is not 1, A is 2. That means the vertical change is always going to be multiplied by 2. So first thing we're going to do is mark our vertex, -2. Okay, so this graph, because we're dealing with much bigger number, each each square is equivalent to 4 units. So -2 will be here, and -25 will be right here. That's my vertex. Now, is this opening up or opening down? So because A is positive, we know it's going to be opening up like so. So, but instead of now, before we were going 1 unit to the right and 1 unit up, but because A is 2, instead of going 1 unit to the right and 1 unit up, I am going to go 1 times 2 is 2 units up. And then from here, 1 unit to the right, and I would usually go 3 to the right, but instead I need to go 5. 3 times 2 is 6, I'm sorry. So that means this is 3 here and another 3 here. Oops. Will be right here. That's actually -17. And then from here, I would go 5 up normally. So 5 times 2 is 10. So that's 2, 4, and right here. And that's going to be -7. Oops. Okay, and let's make a symmetrical shape. And then let's join the points. And because of the A being 2, it's being stretched vertically. So it's a much skinnier graph. So that's my graph. Sorry. Okay. All right. So then you are going to do a practice problem. Y is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 11. Can you pause the video now and see if you can tackle this problem? Just convert this into vertex form, please. The answers will be shown in 3, 2, 1 seconds. Okay, y is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 11. And remember, I want to factor out this 3. So that leaves me with x squared. Okay, 3 times what is -6x? -2x. And then I'm going to leave a little space, and then minus 11 here. So I need to figure out what is the number that I need to add. That's going to be -2, the middle term here, divided by 2, all squared, which is -1 all squared which is 1. So I need to add 1 here inside the parenthesis. Did I just add 1 to the right side of the equal sign? No, I actually added 1 times 3. So I added 3 to the right hand side of the equal sign. So I need to subtract that out again. So then that leaves me with 3 times x minus 1 all squared. Negative 11 minus 3 is negative 14. So y is 3 times x minus 1 all squared minus 14 is my vertex form, and the vertex is going to be 1 comma negative 14. And this is the end of the video, and you can try to do the worksheets now. Thank you.